Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Alda Zafira Issyani and my partner Sherly Putri Qirani. Now we want to presentation about how an English teacher to learn to place more trust in their own intuition. How to be a good teacher is one of them by using intuition. So intuition is, according Albert Einstein, the intuitive mind is a great gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Generally, intuition is an immediate understanding or knowing something without reasoning. According the book of James Scrivener, there are two techniques to be confident. The first technique is observing my intuition at work, and the second technique is prepare but don't plan.
In observing the intuition at work technique, there consists of 3 steps. The first is called turn up and tune in. Means when you're teaching in a classroom, try to understand the small voice to yourself. This voice can provide suggestions to you spontaneously during the learning process. For example, teachers can identify or analyze students' need or problem while thinking about another idea to solve the problem. In this process, sometimes some idea may appear unexpected. The second one is trust and beliefs. Means that the teacher believes in their ability to convey that learning is true based on what they have gained during their study. It can come from attending seminars, workshops, school, and lecture or another. And the third one is be bold, means that see what happens if you go with your intuitive response rather than the other way. Afterwards, reflect on whether it was good or not. Learning from what you did will help you to fine-tune your intuition to inform your future teaching. Prepare but don't plan technique means that some teachers only feel confident if they have every stage of their lesson planned out in advance. It feels professional. The problem is that the more one plans, the more one can feel tied into a predetermined series of action with limited flexibility for changing or responding to what happens in the room. Yet good teaching is responsive and flexible, working moment by moment with the people in the room. By weaning ourselves of this total planning, we can slowly learn to trust our spontaneous intuitive teaching more. One way to do this is to experiment with working without a plan for small section of lesson. Then for the example, the first is you may to select a reading or listening text from a website, newspaper or book to use in a future lesson. You can to photocopy or print the text, but don't choose any task, exercise or activity to go with it. Read the text through to familiarize yourself with it. Notice interesting or problematic language, then let your mind flit around the topic, but don't plan to do anything specific in the classroom. And the second one is when you are in a classroom, try to hand out the text to the student and then use your experience and intuition to spontaneously create the lesson as you go. Watch yourself as you do this and notice the intuitive decision you take along the way. Why you ask this question rather than that one? Why you focus on the vocabulary item you did? How you deal with a student question and so on. And then the last one is continue the experiment in further lesson. With different kind of teaching, varying the amount of preparation you do. Explore what it is like teach live and in the moment without a safety net. Seek to find the best balance between intuitive spontaneity and good preparation.
This is a tips to believe your own abilities or your intuition.
The first, add to the basic knowledge of the expert, books, journal, or other reference in order to help the teacher to improving the teaching skill and can provide an appropriate material for students. In this case, teachers with higher knowledge also add value to themselves. They can gain or increase their knowledge through attending a seminar maybe, or explore an experience. Second, prepare what you will give for your student before starting learning. It means that the teachers will provide their lesson plan in order to help them to make the process teaching can be achieved the objective. Third, be able to receive suggestions and opinions about ourselves. So it can be a self-introspection in order to develop self-confidence and train us to open-minded as well. Fourth, interact with students. It's an important part because by having good relationship with students as a piece of data that to eventually builds and adds to our expertise, which ultimately becomes our intuition. Besides, through interact with student and teacher can build a trust or belief between them. The last one, aware of the role as the teacher. Here I divide into several parts. The first is teacher as a learner, where the teacher must be able to understand and learn each different point of view of the student. The second one is teacher as the facilitator, refers to the teacher should develop their base environment which reflect the student life in social, intellectual, and linguistic occurrence. Third, teacher as an assessor of the student performance. And then the last are teacher as manager and an evaluator in the classroom in order to make the perfect classroom because the teacher are be able to manage the classroom and evaluate the weakness of the classroom.
Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.